I just don't get it, bro. I just don't get it. It be the same thing, bro. It don't make no sense. How is it possible that we live in a world where your feelings can't be respected? Your feelings can't be respected, bro. But that's not even the killer though. The killer be the hypocrisy of it. Cause whole time people will want you to respect they feelings in its own right, even if you don't feel it's valid. Even if you don't feel like what they even feeling is valid and what they responding to, where that feeling come from, even if you don't feel like it's valid, they want you to respect it. But you're not allowed to express feelings of your own. It's not valid, bro. That's blasphemy. Then you the bad guy. I just don't get it, bro. I just don't get it. I ain't gonna lie. People would rather stay in a stagnated position in life so they could just still have it. As long as you there with them, they okay with stagnated energy. It's not going nowhere. It's not going forward. It's not going back. It's not going nowhere. It's stagnated. But people okay with it. People okay with it. But if you somehow not okay, which is crazy why anybody would want to be okay with that. Feel me? And your energy shift. And you decide one day, no, I don't want to be stagnated. Not even one day. You've been had it. Your whole time, you've been had it. You've been had it on your head, but you just can't find correct reasoning. And then you think to yourself, you're like, why do I need to justify what I'm feeling? Because it's the same thing. We do the same. I did the same thing to certain people too. People would feel certain things and I would be like, man, nigga tripping. Like, yo, feeling's not justified to me because in my perspective, I don't see the value. I don't see the point. I don't see the point of it. Like, the feelings that's niggas done conjured up, I didn't see the point. The reasons for the feelings coming up wasn't justified in my head. So roles flip. I am getting what I did deserve. But when you think about it, when I decide to say, okay, I'm gonna accept your feelings, justified in its own right, even if I don't believe in the reasoning. And then niggas turn around and no matter what reasoning you come up with, it's not justifiable enough to feel how you feel if it's detrimental to them. Let me break this shit down. If you feel something that's not in the benefit of the next person, then you automatically the bad person, bro. So is your feelings not justified? You automatically the bad person. If it's not in benefit to the next person, then you not allowed to feel it. Come on, bro. What is that? Come on. I'm laughing, but I'm dead ass serious, bro. I'm laughing, but I'm dead ass serious because this shit don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. If it's not in benefit to you, then all of a sudden it's not justified in its own right, regardless if you don't believe in the reasoning. It don't make no sense. Nobody wants to stay in a stagnated place in their life, dealing with stagnated energy. If it doesn't move, it's in the way. It has to move. It has to move. People so scared of letting go, they gonna hold on to something that's not in the best interest of their own self, just to keep shit comfortable in that little spot. And then you give people the foresight to foresee that, yo, it's not gonna go nowhere. It's just gonna stay there and start. The wheels done fell off. It's not moving. It's not moving, but niggas would still sit there and, like, I don't get it. What are you sitting there for? Why are you still in the car if the wheels fell off? Why are you still in the car? It's gone. They want to hold on to that and be stagnated, just staying in the same spot, not moving. Niggas don't want to do that. I don't know what other niggas doing, but I'm getting out. I'm getting out. And I'm justified in my reason. Even if you don't believe in a reason, I deserve a right, as a human being, to be justified in my response. I don't want to be in a stagnated place where I have to be constantly, it's not even that I'm in anguish, bro, but it constantly resurfaces that I'm stuck, I'm not moving nowhere. It feel like I'm back in the void like I was for that whole 2 years, bro. I'm not moving. I'm not about to put myself back in a spot, a position to where I'm jeopardizing my emotional, I'm jeopardizing my emotional state and my state of mind. Because once your emotional state jeopardized, then your state of mind follow right after it, bro. It's a chain connection, the heart-brain connection, bro. Once you start, you feel me? Right after that comes, it's in your head. Now you got to think about shit that you shouldn't have to be thinking about. Because you shouldn't be stuck moving anyway. Everything in nature moves, bro. Look at the fucking leaves flew off the tree. And they grew back. Everything moves, bro. Those leaves not staying on the tree forever. It's not. Soon as fall come, that shit falling off again. It's a cycle, bro. It's a cycle to these things. You stop the cycle whenever you try to stay in a stagnated place. So now you try to, when you do that, you making it so your life essentially cannot move. Because you in a stagnated place trying to hold on to something that's not even there. Trying to fabricate it, bro. And then you lying to yourself. Got other people lying to themselves, or just not being true to themselves anyway. Deep down, you already, like, that's what I'm saying. We already be knowing everything. We just don't want to accept the shit. Either we don't want to accept it, or we just don't. We don't want to accept it, or we just not ready to. But niggas already be knowing. People already know. People already know. You know somebody ain't shit. You just didn't want to accept it, or you wasn't ready to. It might be some people that you might not be never ready. You might not be never ready to accept it. So the universe will put you in positions to where you have to. Then the universe will put you in positions to where you uncomfortable for you to get it through your head. To where the point where you in anguish, you suffering so badly, you feeling like it's so drastically you gotta get out. It's so bad you gotta get out because you suffocate under the weight of it. Then when you leave, you feel so much relief. But in order, you would have never had left if you not have been put in that uncomfortable and bad position, bro. It does it it works every time. It do it every single time. It's a pattern in life. You gotta notice it. Whenever you decide to stay stagnated in a bad, toxic place, it just keep getting worse. It don't get no better. You in a maze for real. You stuck in the same loop. And it's only when you decide to leave that the cycle ends. When you step outside of that, then that's when everything, you feel so much relief. Because you're not playing a loop, the same loop. We're living the same loop over and over and over and over and over and over. Talking about, bro, like, you're not reliving the same loop. Nobody want to be in the same loop forever. That's not life. That's not what I would call life. That's what I would call experience. You already know everything that's gonna happen. You just waiting to experiencing it. To be honest with you, that's not living. You're not alive. Ain't nothing just coming out. It's no unforeseeable variable that you did not see already coming out of it. It's the same thing. But you lied to yourself, making it seem like it's gonna be some hope, making it seem like it's gonna be something else to come out of the same thing. You can't keep doing the same thing, expect a different result, bro. Like, that's just bottom line. But you keep trying to do the same thing, expect a different result, and you see where it leads you to the same spot every single time, and you're not moving. You literally, in your mind, you're walking, and you keep passing. It's like you walking and you keep passing the same turn. You know in horror movies when they be like, yo, we passed this turn already. They be like, no, we didn't. Shut up. And these dumb niggas really let this little dumb nigga behind the wheel tell them that they have not passed the same turn like 3 times. You ever seen a movie Wrong Turn? When they say, yo, you made the wrong turn, nigga, keep doing it. You gonna keep going and tell them to shut up. And they dumb enough to let this nigga and lead them into a path of chaos and stagnation where they keep being in the same loop. They just going around in a circle like this. And then what happened after that? Some shit going on, everybody get murked. Now everybody hurting. Because they listened to a dumb nigga who wanted to be stagnated and didn't keep going on and didn't keep moving forward. There is a loop that you have trapped yourself in that you call reality, that you have created because you are the manifestor of your own reality that you have created. But it's a small circle when it's a whole big circle that we call reality in itself, that we call the matrix first. Let's not forget about these niggas. This been not even about them, but let's not forget about these niggas. Feel me? But yeah, that we call the matrix first, and then you got a bigger circle. It's just circles within circles, bro. It's an infinite. It's like an infinite thing. Universally universally speaking. But I'm saying that because you trap yourself in a small little circle when it's a bigger circle, encasing that small circle you trap yourself in. But you want to live in that same little small circle instead of breaking that open, stepping outside of that so you can live inside the bigger circle. Your circle didn't go nowhere. It's still there. But you stepping outside of that into realizing that it's a big circle around the circle that you've created. That is literally reality. That is a 5D truth. Everybody might not be ready to hear that, bro, but that's what it is. To be honest with you. That's really what it is. And I can't fathom the thought. I shouldn't even be having to make a vid to justify my feelings to myself when I know in my own right my feelings is already justified. Even if I can't pinpoint a strong reasoning point, a stronghold of reasoning, I don't need a stronghold of reasoning. I only need a little bit of reasoning to say, yo, I don't want to be here. That's my reason. That's it. Regardless if you feel me, if it is what it is, then my nigga, you don't need to accept my reasoning, but you need to accept my feelings on the matter regardless. Because if I don't feel nothing, then I'm the bad guy. If I feel something, then I'm the bad guy, bro. I can't win, bro. I gotta feel something, nigga. Something gotta give. I'm not about to stay in a stagnant place. And then the real thing, the reason why I'm even making the video, the driving feeling I would say I'm making it for is guilt. People would try to guilt trip you into staying in a stagnated place, bro. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. It's no disrespect. I just don't want to do it. I'm not moving forward. I'm not growing. I'm growing by myself, but being in a stagnated place with you, that during that that whole interaction, I'm not growing from that. What am I gaining? I'm not gaining anything. We're not moving forward. We're not moving backwards. We're not moving anywhere. Left, right, we're not moving nowhere. We're not moving diagonally. It's a delusion, bro. We're not moving. I cannot be stuck in the same place. I was stuck in the same place for 2 years. I can't do it no more. That's it. Can't. I can't. Y'all might not know what I'm talking about. You don't have to know what I'm talking about. If you can grasp and read between the lines and get messages from it, then you can get messages from it. That's on you. I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm just encoding it. It's a difference. Y'all know I'm a very blunt person. I'm going to strictly say it. But I'm not going to strictly say something that's gonna jeopardize or make somebody else's life and worse off than it already is. So I'm saying it like this. Regardless of the fact, I've been stuck in the same place. More to the story, I've been stuck in the same place for 2 years and some change. I cannot be stuck in the same place I can't be stuck in the same place anymore. It just don't work. I'm tired of not moving. Something gotta give. If not moving, it comes to a point where you eventually slow down so much where you actually really do stop in time and you don't walk at all. You're not even going in the loop no more. Eventually, if you keep running in the circles, eventually you're gonna get tired. You're just gonna stay still. And this becomes this. And once it becomes like this, you're not alive. I'm telling you this from experience because I've been there. You're not alive. You're doing the same thing every single day. Having the same interaction. There's no real stimulation. And then the places you find stimulation, you grasp onto and hold for dear life. But you only could grasp on so tight because that's not reality. Like, for instance, playing the game. It's not reality. I still have to come back to reality and face the same loop once I'm off the game. It's the same thing. And you're not going to feel alive. You're not. You're going to feel like you're in a twilight zone. Because you're looping around in your own mind. You're not really able to express and really feel like you're living. Not even able to express your purpose on this earth. Not even able to express your mind on this earth. Because that's what's really important. Because you so distracted in the same loop because you done trapped yourself. And you allow somebody to trap you. You allow somebody to trap you. Bottom line. You allow somebody to trap you in that same loop they trapped themselves in. You allow somebody to trap you. Even though you know better. After you done told them, yo, we can't. You feel what I'm saying? The loop. Hey, yo, I'm not going to stay in there. It's a mouse trap. It's like a mouse that continually running on that thing. But it's never going nowhere. It's staying in the exact same spot. If you want to live a life like that. And then the person that has trapped themselves in, that you've allowed to trap you in there with, try to guilt you out of escaping their reality because that's not yours. Guilt trip you out of your own emotions. And you so much of a you so strong in your conscience, you don't move on your feelings strong enough. When you feel an urge to do something, you don't move on it strong enough because you done allowed your conscience to grow so strong that it's overwhelming what you feeling. So it's causing an imbalance to what you feel and what you think. So now what you feel and what you think become they at war. Now you on another battlefield inside yourself when you already combating this person on a mental chessboard. So now you combating yourself too. You playing against two people. And you can't win unless you beat one. And the only way you're gonna beat one is if you beat yourself first, because that comes first. See what I'm saying? It's a paradox. It's a paradox, bro. I don't know how to explain this shit to y'all. It's a paradox. It's like when you so used, when you can't feel nothing for a certain amount of time, you gonna still need to interact with people. during this time when you interact with people, you're gonna need to be able to at least, if you can't at least understand or give a fuck. I'm not gonna say understand. I'm gonna say give a fuck, and I'm gonna say sympathize or empathize with them. You're gonna at least need to give them some type of emotional response, because emotions is energy. Humans thrive on energy. When you don't feel nothing, you don't feel no emotions, you don't feel no energy. So you have to fabricate energy in order to give it back, because that is how you interact with people, through energy. Words, vibration, frequency, energy. This is how you act. The words, vibration, the frequency, your emotions, feelings behind it is what gives the words energy. Your intent, stuff like that is what give the words energy. That's what give the spells energy to do what they do and to be picked up energetically through another person's aura, for then what we now perceive to be communication. So you're gonna at least, I say all that just to tell you, like, that's how deep it go. It's just simplified when we talking, because we don't think about it. But back to what I was saying. So when you're gonna at least need to fabricate some type of energy, or give what little energy you do have to the very few words you choose to say, because you don't have any, and you have to give it to that person in order to communicate. And when you're doing this, if you don't have no feelings, or you can't give a fuck, you're not in tune with your own emotions, your emotions just closed off in a fucking ball, an ice box, and you can't break through, so you can't feel anything. You have to use your head in order to fabricate a position in your heart. So I say that to say that your guilty conscience and your conscience anyway. Let me explain something to you. If you don't feel anything, right, and you constantly have to go in this matrix, because the world is not it's not really like an overall fun place or good place to be. You're living inside a matrix where you constantly exploited out your own purpose. In order to, you have to go and go through mad different avenues in order to get to your purpose that you came here for. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we call the matrix. But if you don't feel nothing, you gotta go through the matrix every day, and you don't have no conscience, you either gonna end up dead or in jail. I'm gonna just put it like that. Because there's no way you're gonna give a fuck about anything, have no motivation, aspiration, anything, and you know how this shit get. Niggas will come to you with a problem, even though you don't care. You mind your business. You don't give a fuck about nothing. You rather just sleep your life away. But niggas will come to you with a problem and try to come to you combative, or antagonize you into a combative state, to where now you honestly don't give a fuck. So it's all or nothing. And that all or nothing mindset, because you don't give a fuck, you take it there, bro. You either wind up dead or in jail. So you use your conscience as a stronghold, as an anchor, to steer you in the right direction. Without any emotions and feelings to go off of, you have to use your conscience to steer you in the right direction. This is how people become psychopaths. Notice, if you can't feel anything and you don't have a conscience, what do they call you? Sociopath, psychopath, shit like that. Why do they do that? Because you can't feel anything. You don't feel no guilt. They will chop you up, murder you, do you all types of dirty, torture you, and you don't feel any guilt about it. Upon this reflection, you have to now create a stronger conscience to compensate for the lack of emotions. And when you create that stronger conscience, when you get your emotions back, you now can't, your conscience still is overwhelming your emotion, your feelings, but your emotions is what drives you, your passion, all of that shit. So now that you can feel again, your conscience is overriding your emotions, and it's an imbalance of power. It's not in alignment no more. What is causing this? Because you're trapped in a box that you used to be in when you didn't need it, when you don't have to be. Now you're trapped in the same box. Not the same, but it's a different box. Same loop structure. And it's like, it's toxic. It's draining. Makes you feel like you're staying still. You were staying still when you was in the void. That was the whole reason you had to create a strong conscience, so you don't wind up a psychopath or some Ted Bundy shit. And now you're at an imbalance. Now you're no longer in alignment with yourself because you're fighting with yourself on a battlefield on the behalf of somebody else who you're also battling on a subconscious level because they don't want to accept reality. So, man, I done dropped so much strong juice, so much strong messages. I just gave myself a fucking headache. That took mad energy just to say that. But I feel a sense of relief. That's why I came out here in the first place. And because Snoop got me up because she wanted to go outside. But I feel a strong sense of relief. Wouldn't believe. I have a headache, but I feel a strong sense of relief. It was worth it. That's why this video is so long and it's all over the place. You might not know what I'm talking about. You might be able to pick up on some of the things I'm talking about. But don't confuse it with you exactly know the whole thing and you know my experience. Obviously, you know what I'm telling you just now is about me. Yeah. It's crazy though. Had to get that off my chest, man. Had to get it off my head. I just brought myself that much closer into having my mind in collusion and in alignment with my heart again. I don't like being out of balance. I took me a minute to build psychological structure. I had to psychoanalyze and reconstruct my psychological structure. The True Garden. Y'all watched my video, right? The True Garden. Do you know what I'm talking about? I had to actually construct myself from the ground up when I lost myself to the void. I don't know who I used to be anymore. I cannot tell you who that person is. Literally, I have no recollection or memory of who I used to be, what I used to feel, what emotional responses I used to give to certain shit. That's just not me. Lost myself to the void, literally. Had to construct a whole new me out of fucking thin air, out of dark matter. And I will be damned if I lose myself to not even my own box, but somebody else's box. I'm sorry, I cannot do it. It's forever love. I don't wish to cause anybody any anguish, any pain, but I do not wish to cause myself any anguish or any pain as well. I do not wish to be living in a literal hell that is somebody else's heaven. That's the best way I could explain it. Would you sacrifice yourself? Let me ask you a question. If it's somebody that you love, right? Obviously, you don't want them to feel bad. But you gotta think about yourself too. Would you sacrifice yourself to a hell that you didn't subscribe to, that you never made, that is somebody else's heaven? Because everybody's heaven don't look like yours. So you living in actual hell to be in somebody else's heaven. I can't do it. I'm sorry. That being said, man, that's all for this. Appreciate y'all for chilling with me. And I apologize for having to burden you with the weight of my consciousness and the weight of my mind and the state that it's in now. May not be the best state of mind to be in. So I apologize if this has burdened you or has caused you any sense of overload, because I know everybody deal with their own shit. I'm just expressing myself. Feel free to turn. I should have put a disclaimer out. So I didn't put a disclaimer out. So for that exact reason, I'm apologizing. This video was not to burden you with my problems or overload you. But I did drop some shit in this vid. Some problems that you may be able to relate to. If it did, you're welcome. If it didn't, I thank you anyway. You feel me? And I apologize once again for burdening you with my shit. Because I didn't put a disclaimer, so you didn't know this video was going to be like this. I'm bowing my head. Apologize. I'm going to say my 1-2s. I love y'all. Like I said, I appreciate y'all. And Me and Stu gonna be out. I'm finna go meditate and I'm finna go sleep. This is the last thing I want to say before I get off. Because it just popped up at the last second. My fault again. There is, I believe in, you are fated to meet people who are best for your growth and evolution, or just you're fated to meet people who are gonna do the best for you in that moment, or even teach you a lesson, because they don't always be the best for you, but they teach you something. They give you something that take you further than you would have went without that. But you don't always have to stay in that place with that person just because of that. It was a fated interaction. But that person has to get off at another stop. That person doesn't live here. His path, that person's path doesn't go there. Y'all go two different ways. It's like going home from school. You get off at a different stop. That person gets off at a different stop. There's no hard feelings. It might be like the last day you graduated. It's no hard feelings. It's all love. You still want to see them eat. You might not just be eating with them at the same table, but you still want to see them eat. It's the same thing. We don't have to guilt trip each other. We don't have to get mad. We don't have to be in anguish. Sometimes we just outgrow each other. That is fine. It is called being human. It is called being interdimensional beings with different energetic vibrations unique to their own, who serve their own purpose, whose energetic vibrations change depending on their life. And depending on that energetic vibration, then attracts different people with another fated interaction who's best to serve their path. It's just that simple. You get off the bus, you like, okay, for me, it's all love. But I gotta go my way. You have to go your way. It's no type of hard feelings, no nothing. You gotta go your way, I gotta go my way. Why does it have to be a whole thing? It doesn't have to be a thing about it. It doesn't. Sometimes we outgrow each other. Sometimes we just can't fit into each other's reality. It's not enough room. That's it. Sometimes your development and character, as you can continue to grow into yourself and continue to obtain more self-awareness, it then leads you in a different direction than the person that you was originally in the same direction, going the same way with. If you walk the same way with a stranger, you feel me, for a certain amount of time, you're like, okay, yeah, I fuck with him. That, that's my friend or something. But then afterwards, that person still has to make the turn to go into their house. You still have to make a turn to go into your house. It's just that simple. I love y'all, man. Extra immaculate. Infinite depth. Infinite depth. Speeches from the heart. Speaking from the soul right now. Speaking from the soul. Speaking from the soul, modified. You feel me? Modified by my mind to be able to put in a space for you to where you can then get a hold of it. But this is coming straight from the soul. You can feel the energy through the fucking phone. I know you can, bro, because I'm getting a headache and shit. Like, I ain't doing it for no reason. I'm doing this because I'm trying to express myself. I'm getting the energy out, so the energy has to go somewhere. I know you picking it up because I'm recording it. But yeah, man. Let me... Hood nigga astrology coming soon. I'm out. Hood nigga astrology coming soon. That's all I gotta say. Hood nigga astrology coming soon. I love y'all. Extra Michael, I'm out. Peace.